Welcome. My name is Tracy Burgess and I'm the Director of Marketing for Outer Reef Yachts, and I'm here with Mike Schlichtig. He's our General Manager. And today we thought we would talk to you about the Trident Series and why the series is such a strong series within our collection and why it's highly sought after. And today we're sitting aboard Anne-Marie. She's a beautiful 620 Trident who has rounded the Great Loop. So we want to talk about those capabilities as well. So without further ado, Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the Trident Series?
Sure. The Trident Series we started developing back around 2013, 2014. We hired a very well-known naval architect named Ward Setzer to work with us on the project. And what we were looking for was a boat that still had a little bit of traditional roots, kind of the Outer Reef pedigree, but in a platform that was a little bit faster, had a little bit more fuel efficiency. Maybe the owners that were looking to do a 16, 17 knot cruise, not our typical 9 to 11. We wanted to design a boat that had some appeal to a younger demographic, a little bit more modern interior, very well built, again to fit in line with the rest of what Outer Reef builds, and I think we've nailed that pretty well.
Can you tell us a little bit about our global owners and how they are cruising and utilizing their Trident and enjoying it?
We've had several owners from overseas and a handful of ones here. The overseas owners were typically looking for a boat to cruise the Mediterranean, the Adriatic. Again, I think speed was probably a little bit bigger factor with them as well, and in that culture, kind of a little bit more modern interior. We actually have several American owners who have chosen to build their boat and keep them over in the Adriatic, and that really has been a spot for their family to go and to spend time on board, where typically they may have chartered a boat for a month. They just decided that this was the right fit for them, and it's really an escape for them when they want to get away from the business world here and just kind of go to one of their favorite cruising areas and have a boat that's very comfortable for them, that really does everything they need it to do.
And let's talk about the long range aspect of this boat. This is a yacht where you can fuel up and really go the distance, as you can do with the Classic Series. Can you speak to how that benefits people who want to take on these longer itineraries?
Yep, absolutely. So the hull form that we designed on this boat took us over a year to develop, and it's very unique. We didn't take an out-of-the-box hull form and just kind of build on top of it. And so when this boat is run at its displacement speed, you get around 8 or 9 knots. She is very, very efficient, and she also has a full keel, which is a bit unusual for boats that have the ability to do upwards of 20 knots. But we have several owners who go to the Bahamas with their families, and they're there for 3 and 4 months and don't need to refuel. Now they're running at displacement speeds, but they're kind of where they want to be already. So that's a benefit. And we've had owners who wanted to go up the coast. You don't have to stop every 200 or 300 miles. If the weather's nice and you want to run offshore, you have the ability to do that. So it just limits the amount of fuel stops that you need to take if you're happy with the long-range cruising speed on the boat, as opposed to those who are kind of looking for more that 16, 17 knot range.
Mm-hmm. So let's dig in a little bit in regards to the fact that this particular yacht that we're sitting on has journeyed the Great Loop, and we know that a lot of Outer Reef owners do strive to do that journey, and a lot of long-range cruisers in general. So can you speak to the capabilities of the Trident in that regard?
I'm happy to. So one of the advantages of this boat doing the Great Loop is the shallower draft, because depending on how much rain you get during that trip, water can get a little bit skinny. So having a draft that's just over 3 feet, plus having a keel for some protection when it gets a little bit skinny in water, is a great advantage. Some would say it's a pretty big boat to do the Great Loop, but I would say it's about the perfect size. It's more than comfortable if you're going to spend 3 or 4 months taking that trip. You have all the amenities you need. You have a shallow draft, Since you're not going super fast, you're not worried about running from fuel dock to fuel dock. And on this particular boat, we did a lowering hardtop. Originally, the owner said he'd be happy with some type of folding mechanism, but the more we got into it, is fairly typical with Outer Reef, we ended up giving more than they were expecting, and we had decided that a fully hydraulic top, something that was a little bit easier for a cruising couple to do in 15 or 20 minutes and the push of a button, was kind of the right thing to do. So unbeknownst to the owner, when we delivered his boat, we told him that we couldn't do the folding hardtop that he had in his contract, and but instead we gave him a fully hydraulic one. So that was quite a nice upgrade, but fairly typical of kind of what we do.
And that upgrade is really nice because it obviously opens up itineraries around the world. Should somebody wish to cruise, in Europe, it's giving you the opportunity to clear those low bridges. So that's always a benefit when somebody's looking to build a boat for those particular areas and cruising grounds. So at boat shows, what we often find are many long-range cruisers do like to visit the Trident Series, and it gives them an opportunity to personally see, touch, feel, and learn more about why this would be the right yacht for them. Is there anything in closing that you can share with us, that may be important to people that are watching the video right now who are considering a Trident?
First of all, it's a very nice looking boat. Everywhere we go, our owners always say how much attention they get. And I think in large part at boat shows, when people see it, they're very intrigued by it because it is a little bit different. It's not like every other kind of cookie cutter boat that a lot of builders are building. So aesthetically, I think it's a very beautiful looking boat. And I think what they recognize once they step on board is that it's a high-end quality boat. It's a hand-built boat. It's not built with fiberglass liners and glued on pieces of wood. All of the joinery starts off as raw walnut timber that gets milled down and eventually built by hand into what you see. And so I think that quality, once they step on, also becomes kind of evident, which is why we tend to get a lot of chatter around the shows. So we put a lot of effort into noise canceling and vibration, which a lot of builders don't do. Our shipyard manager got his background in building mega yacht interiors, and so we used a lot of technologies that were put in some of these big mega yachts into this boat, and it reflects, and I think people walk on and they recognize that. It's also quite unique in that for its size, it's a 3-stateroom, 3-head boat with a possible crew. Mm-hmm. So we tend to have a lot of space and volume packed into the boat with all the natural light and large windows. It's just very warm and welcoming. So all of that, I think, translates into how popular it is at the boat shows and quite frankly just on our website and in general in all of our marketing.
Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us today to talk about the Trident Series. And as Mike said, please visit our website for specs, videos, more information about Trident and the overall Outer Reef collection. Thank you.